My name is Joy Bryant. I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana. A very beautiful city, a culture that was just absolutely great. I was an only child and had a great childhood. It was a segregated South, but I guess I just had enough loving people around me so that I just didn't feel the effects of what was going on outside of my family. I went to segregated schools, high school, and college. After college, I was excited. I thought I had everything in the world, and I decided I wanted to be an airline stewardess. I read in the newspaper that there was this position available, and I read all the qualifications. So I was quite shocked when I went down to apply for the job, and they told me that because of my color, I didn't qualify. So I went home rather depressed, and my dad said, "I don't know why you want to be a glorified waitress anyway." Well, I had known, because this was a segregated South, that there was nothing that I could really do other than teach, and that was about it. The only other choice I had was to work in the laundromat or go to school, so I decided I wanted to go to school. Then there was another problem, because for the state of Louisiana, there were two universities, Southern University and LSU. And they were segregated. I graduated in psychology. Southern didn't have a master's degree in psychology, but LSU did. And because I couldn't go to LSU, the state of Louisiana paid my tuition outside of the state. So they paid my out-of-state tuition, transportation, and housing to go to Berkeley. So I got a chance to stay at International House for 2 years, which was really great. But then after graduating from UC Berkeley, I went back to New Orleans. Married in 1960, and then I had friends who said, "Joy, why don't you come back to California?" My oldest daughter was born in '61, and they said, "Everybody needs to meet Julie." So we came back came back to visit in Hayward the summer of 1962, and decided to stay. My husband got a job working in what was then the Irvington School District in 1963, and I decided that I could not move to Fremont then. There were no paved streets, and it was hot, and I just did not feel that I would have a support system here. So, but the family did decide to move to Fremont in 1963. We started having the house built in Mission Valley. Okay, in 1967 we moved to Fremont. I moved to Fremont with 2 children. The third child was born while we were in Fremont. I really enjoyed being a young mother in Fremont. My children at the time, Gomes wasn't built, so they went to Vallejo Mills for 1 year, and then they attended Gomes. Hopkins, Mission San Jose, and Julie finished elementary school, really 8th grade at St. Joseph's. The family has been very involved in the St. Joseph Parish community. We were also involved in cheerleading, Fremont football, baseball, scouting, and the normal things that you're involved in when you have children. Because their father was in Fremont, they did get around and did get to the different areas of Fremont and got to know a lot of the people, and seemed to have been very comfortable and very involved in Fremont. In 1973, I'm sure 73, I basically left Fremont to go to work in Oakland. That was after BART was available. And I worked for Internal Revenue for 25 years. I am currently retired. I am currently enjoying Fremont as a retired person. I think there's just so much to that Fremont offers as far as the cultural diversity, the languages, the food, the religions, the dress. I love to travel, but at least when I'm home, I can get a little bit of that traveling just walking around the lake. I love the hills. I'm close to the lake. There's the golf course. And again, there's the St. Joseph community. So I just feel that I have been really fortunate. I know my reasons for coming to California, some people may think were very sad and disheartening. They were not, because I still call New Orleans my home a lot of the times. And in fact, I just went to the inauguration of the new mayor last month in New Orleans. So even though I grew up in the segregated South, who would have believed for a city that was just black and white, I would have wound up in a city where there is so much diversity.